first of all, is that we're playing way too many games. We have a rugby mentality. If I watch youth hockey in New England, it's like scrum football. It's just the creativity's missing, the skill level's missing. There's a lot that's wrong, and I'm so excited that USA Hockey's recognized the problem and come in with a solution to the problem.
Well, I think some of the differences and the problems maybe right now that Massachusetts hockey is facing, one, I think we're developing less high-end athletes as far as guys making it to Division I and also onto the National Hockey League. And then I think also one of the issues is I think the costs have gotten a little bit out of hand, and that has maybe limited the number of people that are capable of playing, and so I think that's had a dual effect, and hopefully we can turn this around and get Massachusetts back to where it was maybe 20-30 years ago, where we're really putting out a large number of high-end players.
I see a lot of changes from the 70s to now, the way kids are playing hockey, the way kids are taught hockey in the Boston area and eastern Massachusetts. I think that most of it is not very good. There's a lot of problems with number of games, a lot of problems with pressure when kids at younger ages. There's a lot of problems with travel teams with full uniforms and playing big, quote-unquote, big games. There's coaches bragging about the fact that their Bantam team is 42-4. I think that's good for the players.
The one thing that I think has been a significant difference since I left college hockey in '96 to coach in the national program and coach pros, and then came back almost a decade later, was that I almost sense a little bit of a robotic existence for hockey players. It's really very rare to find a kid that's got kind of like the pond hockey skills that become visible in a game, where a guy plays naturally, plays the game. You can see that his history in the game has been come from an athletic background, where players can really have their own identities as hockey players, whether it's a forward or a defenseman. And I think that's really sad. I think hockey in itself has become monopolized by a mentality that you have to play on the all-star teams, you have to play 90 games a year. The creativity in the game has been minimized into systems where you have to play specific roles, and that's where that robotic, I think, image comes to mind.
I did not play hockey year-round. I think it's very important for kids to be well-rounded athletes. That nowadays a lot of kids are playing lacrosse. We didn't have lacrosse when I was growing up. We played baseball. Some of the kids now are playing soccer as well. But I think it's important to take some time away from the rink, especially when you're at a young age. You should experience all sorts of different sports, and all sports are good sports. It keeps you active. Sometimes you can get kids that skate year-round and they get burnt out, which is no good for them or their parents.
Well, I think when I was playing, it was always Minnesota, Michigan, Massachusetts were the key states that produced. There were so many good players, and now we're being surpassed, not necessarily Minnesota, but certainly the Boston area, by New Jersey, by Western New York, by California, and I think what I see is that it's just too many games. There's very few practices. Players are getting put in a bus and sent to Montreal, to Philadelphia to play games, and very few hockey players now. Soccer players, the baseball players. There's no carryover sport to sport. It's all one. You're gonna be a hockey player when you're 7, and that's all you're gonna do. And I think that's wrong.
I think skill development is a major problem throughout the country, but especially in Massachusetts. I think that kids are playing too many games. We're not keeping kids in the house leagues long enough, giving them more chance to play, practice more, and more teams on the ice. We're splitting the ice more often to give them small ice area games.
My father felt very strongly that my town team came first, and if I was going to play an extra game, that was fine. But I had a responsibility, to my town, to the kids I went to school with, to the coaches that helped me develop and gave me an opportunity. Too many kids throw all their eggs in one basket, and the truth of it is the numbers don't lie. We're turning out very few National Hockey League players as a country, and the sacrifice that it takes, I don't know if you need to make, some of the sacrifices that people think are necessary these days.
The Boston Bruins are fully committed to supporting the ADM model. Through their initiatives, we hope that we'll have many U.S. and, more importantly, local players be able to wear the black and gold in the future.